Hello and welcome to me playing No Delivery. This is the fourth or fifth time I have tried to record this, and horrible things have always happened, which I suppose fits the horror genre. This is indeed a horror game, as you can tell from the bloody handprint. Very few non-horror games go for the bloody handprint aesthetic, although it would have livened up that scene in Titanic. You might notice that some of this, wacky off the cuff, because I am recording as I play this time. This is a let's play, not a let's have played. Some of this wacky off the cuff dialogue sounds kind of rehearsed. Like I said, fourth or fifth time I've tried to record this. So this is a horror game. There's inspiration from a bit of inspiration from Shin Megami Tensei. Also Persona, which is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, obviously. Some Silent Hill inspiration, because if there's a horror game that has not had Silent Hill inspiration since Silent Hill, I haven't heard of it. And a very 80s retro aesthetic. Hence this filter that you can put on that makes it look blurry and off-kilter like a VHS tape. It's quite atmospheric, but at the same time, I'm not really a child of the 80s. I was born in 84, sure, but that just means I was barely conscious for most of the 80s. And I got out of it when I was 6. So, not a big part of my life, except for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which were for a while essentially my religion. At any rate, the filter is distracting, so I'm turning it off. I may have mentioned, but there's obviously some inspiration from Five Nights at Freddy's, since you're in a haunted pizzeria. Yeah, see, VHS sounds. It's also a roguelike, as you can see there, with employees will die, your progress and actions are permanent, this game supports an autosave feature, blah blah blah. There's some procedurally generated stuff. You can get new staff members, you can kill old staff members, you will have old staff members get killed. Hello? Hello? Well, if you're hearing this, then you've made some very bad job choices. I don't do a very good imitation of Phone Guy, but you know, it's done with love. Like I said, this is the fourth or fifth time I've tried to record this, so I've done a few different crust selections, and I haven't done deep dish though, because what I think of as deep dish, most Americans think of as thick crust, and what they think of as deep dish, I think of as, in the immortal words of Justice Antonin Scalia, tomato pie. A man who was wrong about almost everything, and did a lot of very bad things to the world, but was occasionally funny about pizza. So yeah, that's tomato pie, but less so. Normally I would say pineapple, because as you may have seen in my first Let's Have Played Disgaea video, I am that kind of heretic. Boneless. I don't know what boneless means, so let's just say boneless. What topping do I want? I can't just say boneless. Okay, so I've said pineapple, I've said anchovies. Look, I like a supreme with pineapple and anchovies. It's very tasty. It's salty and sweet and good. It doesn't have olives on it. Olives are bad. So let's just say plain cheese, because pepperoni is, of course, the right answer according to this lady. Yes, we're one of those people. Oh, no we didn't. What is she talking about? Let's just say yes, because I've said no so many times. Yeah, Morton's Fork. Whatever you pick, you get that response. What does she mean? She insisted that we came to pick it up, but most pizza places would give us a different option than just coming to pick it up. Could it be that there is... title drop! I love a good title drop, I really do. This is obviously a very cheap pizzeria because they couldn't maintain the fourth wall. Just fell down. Completely gone. I have in fact never worked in a pizza restaurant. I've done very little work because of my crippling anxiety. So I've never seen one of these training videos. Again, the 80s aesthetic is very there. Very neon. Okay. These are the attributes that your staff have. Other games might give you strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, and they might make you decide whether you're going to say intelligence or intellect before you say it so that you pronounce it properly. But in this game, you have professionalism, competence, and fun. And I don't know how they work. I do know that competence can get you through some barriers without losing hit points, where you would otherwise lose hit points. This music is very distracting while I'm trying to talk, but it also, yeah, we're cheerful and we're having a good time. Now that we understand the fundamental elements of employment, you'll be ready to tackle anything that comes our way. There's a little map. Ever take a wrong turn? And it's written in red. So if this was Umineko no... whatever Umineko is, we know it was true. As it is, it's just creepy. They have no liability. See, this is pretty good. You get to keep all the last person stuff. Remember, your safety as an employee is our number one priority. It's just that there's a lot at number 0. 0.1, 0.2. Here's our first guy. Look at him. He's a guy. Arrow keys to move, shift to dash, Z to confirm, X to cancel menu. I'm actually playing using a controller, which is just, it's dark wizardry to me. I could never get to grips with using a controller for a PC game. Anyway, what's this guy got going for him? It just worked too, which, again, I'm not particularly good at stuff. So, if it hadn't just worked, I would be playing with the keyboard. He has 1 in each of his stats and 5 hit points. 1 in each of his stats is not out of the question for some of the stuff I've been getting later in the game, but 5 hit points is bad. Twitching body bags. As mentioned, this is something of a horror game, so there's nothing overtly scary about that. It's just a bag. But the implication is pretty unpleasant. What's really scary is, look, we don't have an attack command. We've got escape, and that's it. So, hey guys, want to try escaping? Escape? Can't escape. We gotta catch this Pokemon, or we just fail. At least it missed us. Now 5 hit points. So yeah, you know how, like in Dark Souls, you know how you can actually beat the Asylum Demon if you really try? This isn't one of those games. This is the game where you die in the tutorial because you die in the tutorial. It's your Kobayashi Maru. So I suppose, like Kirk, you could mod the game. Anyway, that dude's dead now. And he gets paid $50 for being dead. So that's something. That's nice. You know. And look, now there's a creepy pair of eyes sort of talking to us. This is, I suppose, if this was Persona, this would be our Igor. But unlike Igor, who is creepy looking, but in the end nice, this thing doesn't seem very nice. Also, you have to fight it sometimes. Yeah, no escape. We can't be delivered. There's no delivery. It's clever. Yes, you had to fight that guy, the scary pair of eyes, at the end of the day. Yes! I'm a dog! I have -1 fun. I'm not a very fun dog, but dogs are fairly fun to start off with. Anyway, it is always good to be a dog, because dogs are good. I don't see anyone arguing with that. Except for people who have a fear of dogs. So, trash is useful for some employees' skills. But for most of the time, it's just trash. It's junk inventory. But it does give you some money if you sell it to one of these talking trash cans. Trash for green stuff. It's the green we need. So if we sell this trash can enough trash, it will turn us into a frog. That's not true. But speaking of being clever, this game is sort of has that cosmic horror thing, and of course the idea of a cosmic horror, Lovecraft style, is racism. That's not true. The idea of a cosmic horror, Lovecraft style, is that it is an all-powerful being that does not care about you. Absolutely does not care about you. Cthulhu isn't trying to kill us. Cthulhu is just there. And the things it wants completely... what's the word I want? What we want is completely irrelevant. We're just the ants swarming around where Cthulhu wants to put down its picnic blanket. Cthulhu wants to picnic on Earth, and he doesn't care that Earth is full of ants. Now, that horror is indeed very nasty. That the cosmic horror will do whatever it wants, and you are not even an enemy. You're not even an obstacle. You're just in the way. This game is about being a minimum wage employee at a large company. Do you see where I'm going with this? We are a horror protagonist, so of course we investigate. Also, we're a dog. I mean, we're a dog, so we're gonna sniff the toilet. Also, I could do any amount of innuendo about this choice, but instead I'm just gonna pull the hard object. Yeah, probably browned with rust. I mean, that would be horrifying, but we're a dog. We don't care. Woo dog! These are some of the best bits about being a dog. Also, look at our little face. We just want to snuggle our little face. Okay, so we can pick up some more trash here. As you might have noticed when I was looking at skills, we do actually have a skill that works with trash. In that we can poop on trash. It's a pretty good skill if it ever hits. I recall the last time I was a dog, it almost never hit. So we've just upgraded the delivery boy role. They get a new skill, and it also increases their hit points. Like our dog has 20 hit points because we haven't upgraded the mascot position at all. From now on, any delivery boys we get will have 24 hit points because of that bonus skill, which is pretty good. Now, there's a twitching body bag here, and I believe we've mentioned the twitching body bag's pretty horrible, and they killed the last guy. But there's a present back there. Also a filthy toilet that the dog is also probably interested in. Poke it, poke it, poke it. I mentioned, you know, innuendo, but this isn't innuendo really. It's just body horror. You know, the nightmarish transformation, insect-like. You know. Anyway, let's poop on it. Yes! Poop success! Unfortunately, it also gave nausea to us, but, you know, I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna bite where we pooped. And now it's hit us. Oh, it's not doing any more poison damage. We're gonna use the Wombo Combo. That's a fairly good healing skill. But you don't get the dish or the trash that a piece of food normally gives you use it. So we got a bit of trash from that guy. We got $3, and he's not barring the way to this present anymore. Brooms are hugely important. They're the easiest way, and on the overworld, when you're not in a wrong turn, the only way to get past these unsightly spots with the cleanup markers on them. Now we're going to clean up this one using one of our precious brooms, because then we can look at this body tape and we can be haunted by the ring girl, which is actually really good, unlike most cases of being haunted by Sadako. Because she occasionally turns up as a party member, and that is amazing. So we're going to set up the stool here. And I talked about this a lot in one of the previous recordings that no one ever saw, but that's clearly a stepladder. I don't know who calls it a stool. I don't know if this is a Canadian thing. I don't trust it. I don't like it. Let's go in the vent. That might turn off others, but we're a dog. Yeah, we've got friends. That's pretty cool. We're a dog. Now this one, obviously the point is, you know, oh no, that's scary. If I turn back because something has softly gripped my leg as I crawl, that means I'm going to be crawling straight into it. If something grips my leg as I crawl, I'm crawling as fast as I can away from it. Oh, fresh air. I'm a dog. I like disgusting smells. Here we are! Now, you might remember that... Hello, Raggedy Pennywise. You might remember that I bought a bunch of food in the vending machine in the toilet, because if you want to get some food, you go to a toilet vending machine. You might, if you're an idiot, then think, oh, this vending machine is doubtless the same thing. I will never check it. Because that's what I did. Do you remember how I said brooms are really important? This is where you get brooms. First time I tried playing this game, I was going without brooms anywhere. And I know I said I wanted to record my first impressions. Like I said, 4 attempts at recording. I bet that's going to be us. We're going to be dog-ployee. We're going to be a really good dog, guys. As mentioned, this is not the most expensive nor prestigious pizza place. So this, of course, is Circus Baby. It's not Circus Baby, but it looks a bit like Circus Baby from the Five Nights at Freddy's series. She's telling us here that she would like us to clean her and her sisters up. And that's actually... You see how it restored it RHP? They will do that in dungeons too. It is very helpful. So, speaking of Circus Baby, as we were... That's the exact cadence of the hellos in the first Five Nights at Freddy game. I actually wrote a piece of fan mail to the voice actor for Circus Baby because I thought she did a really good job. And she wrote a really nice thank you message back. So that was really nice of her, and so she is a cool person. I mean, I say that. It's entirely possible that she tortures kittens in her spare time, but I'm sure she tortures kittens in a very cool way. Yeah, there are a lot of locked places, but in fact most of the barriers are those cleaning things. We don't have questions, we're a dog. We have many questions, but they're all woof. So this bit of exploration allows us to start the game anywhere that we've explored. We would like to go in there because apparently it's showtime, but it only opens during showtime. So it's not showtime. It is in fact no time. Yes, we'll just leave that hanging. We'll just leave that hanging there, like this balloon, which is hanging in the air. We can choose to fight these balloons. They're not particularly tough, but they will give us stuff. Bite. They'll give us 4 damage, but they'll also give us some stuff, including a ticket, which could be helpful. Hey, monster! No monsters in the bathrooms. Yeah, showed that guy. Successful dog. So now we can open the way to the bathroom from the inside of the store, which is very good. And there's that vending machine that has food in it that can then lead you not to get the vending machine with the brooms and the disposable cameras. You know what, guys? I think this is the right way to go. So the wrong turns are basically, they're the dark world, and they're the dungeons. And all of them have one of the stats at the end, professionalism, competence, or fun. At first I thought that meant if you complete this dungeon, you will get a rank up in whatever stat it is. She is in trouble. Like, these animatronics are pretty scary in a way. But they're friendly, I like them. Kind of feel sorry for them. Anyway, I thought if you completed one of these wrong turns that you'd get that stat increased. In this case, you'd get +1 fun. That's not actually the case. So then I started to think that there would be a test at the end on that attribute. Also not actually the case. So it turns out that I don't know what that means, just as I don't know pretty much anything about how the skills work. But I am going to poop on this body bag. And it's going to poop on me. And it poisoned me, but I didn't poison it. Well, the poison status effect is nausea in this case. Part of me thinks that fun is your accuracy and evasion. But who knows? It might also just be your skill or your potency with arcade skills, like the light gun, which is a pretty good skill that some staff can get. And if your staff member has that skill, you really want to have a lot of tickets, because tickets are what shoots the light gun. How is it poisoning me so often? I have to eat so much food. Nausea. It's nauseating me very often. Even though I'm a dog, I should be immune to nausea. I eat the poop of so many creatures. I wanna... This is not going well. This fight is not going well for this dog. And this dog is me, which implies that I'm not good at playing the game. And now I'm out of food. But being out of food meant I could do a really good poop. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a dog. What do you expect of me? Keep going. We could actually call it quits. The last guy, the little Mr. No Attack skill. If you said call it quits with him, he doesn't know the way back to the pizza parlor. So yeah, he is there to die. He exists only to die. Like the Black Waltzers in Final Fantasy IX, except backwards. If you've played Final Fantasy IX, you know what that reference is. Anyway, night shift over. Good job. So that completes a day, so to speak. Then you have your day shift, which just you do stuff. And now we have responsibilities, despite being a dog. And leaving a sticky mess behind. Our brooms are precious, and I don't think we get any bonus from cleaning it up, so we're just going to put a wet floor sign over it. Success, $5. We can use that to buy... We can't use it. Can we use that to buy a broom? I think we can. Or some food. Anyway, tact and professionalism demands we apologise. By woofing. And we got a bunch of trash, which we can use to poop on people. There is no successful response to this as far as I know, so let's just ask if they're any good. As I said last time, I have been to a high school talent show that my sister was in, and the boys' class had been just doing work on breakdancing, and I'm going to tell you now, high school kids, when they breakdance, love doing the worm. Also, breakdancing, even if you're a teenager, rest doom, there's a typo, they'll probably correct it sooner or later. Even if you're a teenager, if you manage to go down onto the ground while by breakdancing, and then come back up, you're gonna look cool. You're gonna look reasonably cool. And here's a puppet. It's like Elmo, only horrifying. Insert joke about Elmo being horrifying here. So, you know, let's instead call him Telly Monster. Remember Telly? Telly was kind of maroon. He was, I don't have hands, I'm a dog. He was bigger than Elmo. Seemed sort of melancholy a lot of the time. So yes, a lot of people died. He doesn't have ears. Look at the side of his head, no ears. Anyway. What I really should do is get some more food, since I am out of it, and it's like my only reliable healing skill. So this confirms the arcade as a starting point, basically. This is not my first night on the job. Remember I had that previous night on the job. Everyone's coming after me. I'm being coming after by monsters. Being coming after? What is that? Stay out of places that look locked up. No, I want to advance the game. I'm going to be very good at not asking too many questions and not thinking too hard, because I'm a dog. Okay. Now there's one of those binders that you use to improve classes. For the waitress position, not for the dog position. But that is a really good skill, because it allows the waitress to heal herself using trash. As the dog, and the mascot, but I just like saying dog, guys. We cannot do that. So we're going to need to get some food. And we only have $11. We could sell some of that trash, but we need that trash for pooping on people with. We could sell those dishes, but why don't we do this instead? 555-73-563. I thought when I saw that, oh, that's cool plot progression. That's gonna, open new areas. When I go to what is listed as the only phone able to make outside calls, and put that in. But because I've said it, you can tell that that's not actually the case. 5, 5, 7, 3, 5, 6, 3. I could have forgotten that because I was talking a lot over it. So yes, that arcade company is no longer... It's Hudson Soft. It's just Hudson Soft. That was a Bomberman arcade. Hudson Soft gave me $100. Hudson Soft is a software company and would not make arcade cabinets because that's hardware. If no longer responsible. Lots of things no longer responsible. Again, minimum wage employee, Cosmic Horror. You see where we're going? There's actually, if you look around here, if you look here, it's an advertisement for late night television. Now that useful advertising, there's a couple of hints later that suggest that you might be able to get phone numbers from them. That you might be able to do phone things with. Might be a benefit. Unfortunately, I haven't found a television in the game that you're able to change the channel of yet. Maybe you find a remote control in one of the wrong turns. But speaking of wrong turns, let's go back to the arcade, at which point we will go into one more wrong turn, and then that'll probably be a good length for the video. Depending on how the wrong turn goes. So if we go over here, oh look, that one's covered with a sheet. Why is that? I don't know. Anyway, let's play it. It's on. Play a game? Why not? That's why not. But it's in many cases of horror game, it's one of those things where you have to do the wrong horrible thing in order to progress in the game. And so that's a benefit. How do we use the sticks when we're a dog? Okay, this is going to be a test. If it flashes red, you get a little trading program test. Anyway, as a dog, we're fun, so let's be fun. There's a birthday party being shown in the auditorium. Being thrown in the auditorium. How many times should the routine birthday show be run? I think you just keep running it over and over, so I'll say at least twice. Wrong! Be run at all times. That's what I said! Well, then at least once would have been wrong too. It's, again, Morton's Fork. This is not fun arcade music. Oh, they're using static. Static is a terrible ability because it can stun. Stunned creatures miss their next turn, and in a party of one, that's not good. Yeah, because they just get another turn. That mutex targeting is also, it marks, meaning it, the monster using it doesn't miss. Which is a shame because I like it when they miss.